Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, or good day, good evening, good night, wherever you are in the world, and welcome to this commentary stream for the Hyacinth Disaster, episodes 2 and 3. My name's Boder, and I played Dreadnought during the recording, and I'm also our stream host today. So if you're here and you're wondering what all these numbers are around us during this week in the month of May, I raised money for St. Jude. We're not going to plug that a whole lot here, but that stuff is there. In case you're interested, there's something in the About section below. But moving on from that, we are talking about the Hyacinth Disaster, which was the brainchild of the gentleman to my lower screen right, my left, you're right, down over that way,
The
Mr.
other
David
gentleman here.
Carlson. Yeah, the other gentleman here. Mr. David
Yes.
Carlson. Go ahead and take it away if you want to introduce us, introduce what we're going to be listening to today.
Yes, Hyacinth Disaster, brainchild. Years ago at this point, it feels like not nearly as long as it has been. I think it's been almost 9 years
I
at
want to
this
say
point.
2017. Yeah,
Yeah, right? Crazy. Um,
that's
I
not
got
okay.
I got this bug in my head, which was this project just kind of started out as a little idea, and I did a quick test thing where I did all the voices myself for one scene, and I shared it with a few people, Boder being one of them, and they were like, "Oh wow, this is a neat idea. We would totally want to help." And so from there, over the course of 6 months, I wrote a 7 episode script, and it kept growing. I think I originally planned for like I originally planned for 3 episodes, and then it just kept going. Um, but I did have like a story, start to finish, in mind.
Mm-hmm.
And that just took up 7 episodes. And then I wrangled my sister Lori, who played Blue, into it. And I wrangled my wife Amanda, who plays Finch, into it. And so we kind of got a lot of people involved, internationally as well. But so far, for at least for this session, this is the cast that is going to be involved. Um, if you have any questions, any thoughts whatsoever, especially any flattery, no criticism is welcome to. You're welcome to share in the comments of the stream, and Boder will keep it on that and let me know. Let us know
Mm-hmm.
if there's any really if there's any questions in there at all, and we'll try and answer them.
Absolutely.
Um,
If you're here live, please leave questions in the Twitch chat. If you are watching this on YouTube afterward, leave comments. We'll be checking those as well. It'll be on my channel, and I will tag in David as needed for responding to comments as well. So you can already find episode 1 there. I'll make a fancy little playlist.
yep. Yeah, so we're planning on listening to at least one episode. We're just gonna kind of go through and talk about more or less what we're hearing. Um, I was the writer and the producer and the director. I also played 2 of the characters. You will probably be hearing me talk a lot. But please, any of the other people, if you have any thoughts or questions, go ahead and share them, because I don't want this to just be me talking about it the whole time.
Absolutely. I did not re-listen in anticipation of this with the idea that, oh, maybe I'll be caught by surprise for some of the things that are going to happen, or like, oh, I forgot that. So
Maybe it'll
I'm
be different
excited.
this time.
Maybe it'll be
Maybe
different
it'll be
this
okay.
time. I have one thing planned that I'm going to say towards the end of episode 2, but other than that, we'll just take it as it comes. So,
All right.
Amanda and Blue, do you guys have anything that you guys want to add before we start listening?
No, I did listen to episode 2. I didn't listen to episode 3, but what's fun is it's been a while, so I feel like I've forgotten the story and things exciting. I hope they don't die at the end.
Oh, it's fine. With a name like this, you know everyone's gonna be fine.
So I think we have similar voice registers for some reason. And even when I listen to it, I'm like, oh, yeah, we do sound alike.
Interestingly enough, depending on when you listen or how your ear hears voices, Finch and Blue sometimes sound closer than Grim and Khan. Who are the 2 that were played by David.
It's funny because I played both of those characters.
Yes. All right, we're going to listen now. This is episode 2 of the Hyacinth Disaster. I'm not singing. Cross your fingers or something. Underneath it. I'll say this is where we're introduced to like that muffled repeat of what happened in the last moments of the previous episode, which kind of works well to bridge things. I like it. I'd forgotten
I was
about
actually
that.
I was gonna ask about that because when I was writing, I wasn't sure if everything was gonna be like real time, but as I got further into it, that made more sense since the whole thing is supposed to be like a black box recording. But then that raised the difficulty of how do you
show that?
How do you bridge that without it just being either a hard
comms check
gap
in. All exos sound off.
or something where it's like you have to kind of like re-explain everything. And what I landed on was like a gradual fade in from muffled to clear for the previous 30 seconds or so, and I think it worked pretty well.
Recon, all systems are good.
Confirmed.
She sounds in love, Con.
Shut up, Dreadnought. Grim, Argus, what's your data look like?
So this is a slight reference back to the first episode, but related to Blue and Con. Fun fact, with that bit where
So the rock is good?
where Con says stop screwing around to Dreadnought, and Dreadnought says, yeah, speaking of screwing, how are things with Finch?
Yeah.
So my dad and Lori's dad is very straight-laced, not one to go for that kind of humor at all, but he actually messaged me after he first listened to it, and he was like, despite
sounds Greek.
my norm, that actually made me
Greece
laugh.
asked us to take
Nice.
over.
Oh, look at the big hero. After the U.S. collapsed, what option did they have?
Look, it's not like we ran in there and just started taking
Hey,
things
look,
over.
we're all working together to help our mutual friend by proving this rock is worth a lot of money. Togetherness!
Oh, right, so this
That
bit
aged
is
well.
like-
Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, right.
With the U.S. collapsing.
Well, it means we've got
Yeah.
Goldie Rock.
Oh,
The
dear.
dangers of science fiction.
Yeah, that's my fault. No, it's actually a fun thing is that this was, and I say it's clever, it's not my idea at all, but
All right, let's
it's
confirm. Can we
how
clear
do
the
you
scan
get
up, Dreadnought?
characters to tell each other something they already know without it being really stupid? One of the
Okay,
ways you
how
can
long?
do that is for them to get mad about something, because if there's one thing people do in arguments, it's they tell each other things they already know. And so to
Hey,
kind of
Clever,
get a little bit of the
how's the
story
ankle?
backdrop,
Holding
or
fine.
at least the
Okay,
some
good.
world flavor, having the
Should
characters
I
be a
be
little
concerned?
bit tense
I don't know.
politically
Grissom's
is a
auto
way to
release
do that.
failed despite an inspection from station.
So the thing was supposed to break, and it didn't.
Yep. Is the rock shifting at all?
Meh. One this big wouldn't be affected
Meh.
by the squealer much.
That's professional.
Keep an eye on it.
But you're so handsome.
Finch.
I did have someone ask me at what point what exactly the squealer is, because
Mhm.
obviously,
Go ahead,
I mean,
Argus.
it
Hey, man, how's the
squeals,
ship doing?
right?
Mhm.
It's
Like, why
fine.
do they have to lock their
Good.
comms?
Our comms.
I don't have
Comms are
any
fine,
science
too.
behind it whatsoever, but like the general idea is
Sorry, all
that
we need is a clear scan and
the
that's it.
drill
Ember's as good as rescue. Gonna march into the corporate
drill
office
that
and show
Dreadnought
this
is
bastard
We
working
have to
couple.
confirm,
makes
Argus.
space
Yeah,
for
the tension's
the
killing
machine
me.
to go down, and it
Sing
basically
a
does
song
a
or something.
burst of some kind of
Actually,
radiation,
we have been working
which
on
is
a song.
picked
You
up
wanna
by
hear
the
a song?
multiple
You guys, do you wanna hear that?
receptors that
Off comms, Argus. Thank
Grim
you.
and Argus are setting up, and the basically it's kind of like a space radiation sonar, where
Yeah.
obviously
Again,
sound may
Dreadnought.
not work, but the whatever the
Yeah, I read you now.
receptors pick
How
up
much
of
deeper
the
did you drill?
radiation kind of tells them what's inside the rock, and
Confirmed.
it causes a lot of interference,
All hands.
but
Squealer is
it
set
doesn't
to go
destroy
again.
comms as long as you
Confirmed.
have them shielded when it
XO7,
happens.
go.
Go com.
It's like an EMP, but in
XO4,
space.
go.
I kind of.
Yeah.
XO2, we are
And
go.
actually in the about section, there's a section on the
Everyone
website,
lock
the
comms.
database,
5,
that has a bunch of
4,
like extra
3,
in-universe stuff, and sure enough, the squealer is in there. I had forgotten about it, but then I like glanced at the website. Prior to a blast, crews must lock comms, turn off and shield them to avoid permanent damage. Masterful sound work. Every time.
The singing.
comms, check all XO
Mm.
sound off.
Of all the money I've ever had, I spent it in good company and all the heart. No.
Grin, you were singing on the way here.
The machinery was humming the perfect note, and it happened. Don't try and make it happen. Besides, you both sounded way better before you had to squeeze into these damn suits.
That line of
There
"you
it
both
is.
sounded better" was definitely
Yeah.
added later because we didn't record together as a group. We couldn't like key in on a key for each other to like be in key with each other. We recorded separate, so that was a great way to just make that work.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like, how
what's
do
the
I?
good
Because
news, guys?
it doesn't
Just
sound
waiting for the
great.
little
I
lights.
mean, nothing against you guys, but it didn't. And it was like, how am I gonna do this? And I was like, wait, Grim can just say.
Yeah, what the hell?
You
Shut
could
up
just
and
say it's
don't
bad.
go on.
There's nothing here.
What he said.
What?
Well, because
It's
also
funny
like
that
you were referencing the High Kings version, and at the time I had done a lot of listening to a Peter Holland's version, which is in a different key. So it was just
But fuzzy would mean something is
Yeah,
there.
it's actually that was a
Calm
slight
down,
personal
Grim.
reference to
Tell me to
something which
calm
I
down.
do
We're out here
whenever
for
I'm
fun.
like,
What's
if I'm in
everybody gonna do
the
now?
grocery store, if
The
I'm in the
stands are
refrigerator
empty,
section,
Dreadnought.
whenever there's like an ambient hum, like in my, I just start quietly
oh, there
humming
you
and
go.
harmonizing with it. And so when Grim goes like,
We're
yeah, the
running out of time,
machinery is just humming a
Dreadnought.
perfect
Make
note.
it
We just
fast.
started like that was
All right.
that
Keep
was
me
me.
updated.
So a little bit about Grim
Grim to
or
Khan.
Han, whichever
Khan here.
one
Go
we're,
ahead,
we're
Grim.
picking apart.
We're stinking a
Um,
lot on Dreadnought.
Very similar
I know,
is
and if we
the
had any other way to
microwave
get Ember
will
back,
make
I'd
noises
take it,
if you press the
but we don't.
buttons, and I think
Are
what
we
was
gonna
it,
have
Pirates
time?
of Caribbean
And
we're
if this
doing?
turns out to be Pater, we don't have to worry about taking over for the
The
Crescent.
buttons on
if
the
it doesn't?
microwave.
Wow.
When did you get so pessimistic?
I'm just
Worried. Yeah, me too.
I think my notes for this one on my iPad was everyone's stressed as fuck.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, I didn't realize that. I
100%.
shouldn't say that
enough for
before,
corporate
but-
to care. At least
Now you know.
Technically, I
Well,
said
that means you have to make a $1 donation to the swear jar. So.
Oh, I'll make it 4 for
But-
each level.
But yeah, like there is a lot of stress in this, and like in a happier story, you would have a release of that, but it does just keep building.
I imagine 8 legs is
However,
ideal
I
in
think at
zero G.
the end of this, I'll wait until the end for that note.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I want to know.
Good point.
I do know where you're going with that, but yes.
It's only about 4 inches.
So this line right here, this little bit where Khan kills a
Yeah,
spider.
well, it's good that you
Grim,
never
who's
ended
this
up anywhere like,
super
you know,
tough guy.
in your suit.
He's like, oh, how big was it? And Khan says 4 inches, and Grim says, that's 5 inches bigger than I like a spider to be. I think that's probably one of my favorite lines
I'll
for
take
Grim.
that coffee now. if you
Um,
don't
It's
mind.
solid,
It's
yeah.
just that it's like, I would rather that spider didn't
It's
exist,
all
man.
swirl.
Yeah. I would rather that spider's non-existence took out at least some of another spider's existence as well.
Yeah.
Especially if it's a
Should hang out
safe
more.
spider.
She'd like that one.
That sounds.
I'm good, thanks.
So
Yeah.
in your head, is
They're built
this
different.
Sorry you
is
feel
this
that
foot
way.
tip to foot tip, or is this just like the abdomen?
I didn't even get a chance to meet her.
Yeah,
We're
no,
that
it's
serious.
the
The week
wingspan.
after I
Yeah, okay,
told you
okay.
we're you're married.
Because I like the idea that it's like the core of the body is like 4 inches, and you're just like, it's fine.
Told Mom?
This is mutated space spiders.
She'd be all, when are you coming home?
Just
I want
realized
to meet her. Besides, it's
How
not like you tell her
terrifying
anything
a
either.
spider just floating in zero G.
Better she
That's
work
a
safe
bad
job,
mental picture.
good company who... Yeah, what's going on?
Han, you there?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they figure out how to like use their legs to like
Moms are
propel.
going hinky too.
No.
Yeah, spiders figuring out angular
Well,
momentum.
Right now they do.
How bad?
Let me check.
They pull in all the legs and just.
Later on in this
do you
show,
read me?
Grim is like, I know what angular momentum is. It's like if you wiggle your legs in space,
Are
you
your
can
comms
start to
bugging
either
you?
increase or decrease
Yeah,
your rate of spin. I'm
Feel
just
the
imagining
rock?
spiders doing
Finch
that.
said she picked up
That
some
line,
seismic
I know what
activity.
angular momentum
Seems to
is.
make
I
comms
took
something
third
like
grade or something like that. I passed third grade. Just one of those little things of like a sci-fi universe where like, yeah, knowledge gets more and more accessible down the ladder as higher grades open up more advanced concepts.
And that's why I asked you first. Control to XO2, Dreadnought, copy?
Dreadnought here. What's got you?
Are you feeling this?
The rock shivering? Yeah, man. Squealy usually doesn't have that much on a rock this big, but I'll be careful. Meanwhile, I'm set for another try.
Hold on.
I'll say choice use of
Carter,
deleting words while still
Control to
keeping the
Finch?
sentence purely intelligible.
Dreadnought
Like,
says
good
to
job of
Man,
picking the
that
right
was-
ones to.
Comms are okay.
That was
I'll keep up with
I did a lot of work,
Confirmed.
especially later on when they're down in the chasm.
All right,
to like,
everyone, one more time.
how do you
Confirm
how do
we
you
are
make
go.
it so
should just jump to it, yeah.
it's
Agreed.
like it's
That's on
really
you.
conveying that it's hard to hear, but
Dreadnought,
you really
we're
don't
ready.
want it to
You don't
be
wanna lose
that
stuff, yeah.
hard to hear.
Especially during the heartfelt scenes later on.
3.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on, lock
I
comms,
cheated.
everyone.
I will say I cheated a little bit when they're having their really intense discussion later on. I didn't play the interference on.
Yeah.
This thing.
This
Well,
part
that's because
has-
Grim was so close that when he got back in range of the black box, it uploaded his recording of the conversation.
Comms check. All
Obvious.
XOs.
Yep.
Sorry, Blue, you were saying?
Grim here.
Oh no, I was
Anyone
saying
else
I was
do
gonna
that?
say some of those like gravelly sounds and
Squirrels didn't affect
the
a rock this big,
it
right,
reminds me of
Dreadnought?
Slender Man. The old
Oh,
like when you get caught by Slender Man.
yeah.
Damn his radio.
It's definite. What? When was Slenderman a thing? That was before Hyacinth Disaster, right? I don't know. Time is weird before 2020.
More importantly,
Yeah,
my friends are still
yeah, it was
liking
like on
Argus.
a long time ago, and
Yeah.
Let me dig more. I'm not on my limit yet.
This is it.
Was there anything that you referenced for how that sounded, or did you just pile a whole bunch of noise until you got something you liked?
It's Dead Slayer, and then we're all gonna be rich.
For the
Even if
squealer.
Valor's getting
Yeah.
rich, asshole.
I know.
Oh man, so it was
The rest of us are trying
it was
to keep
kind of a
people
mix
from
of like
being killed, and
a
you're
random
thinking about
hum
money.
noise that I had, and then I just kind of modulated
Hey,
the
I get it, dude. You said you want to save your friends.
the pitch. Really, I changed the pitch through it, and then I think I did like a THX thing where one starts low and one starts
Oh,
high.
yeah.
Like they approach in the
Converge.
center, and then I just added a whole bunch of noise on top of it, and at some point, like in the middle, it sounds like a person screaming, and I love it. It came together really well.
Like hell we do.
I like this speech. The motivation speech of someone that, are they a villain or not?
Mhm.
Hate me all you want, but you've only got a chance because of me. And buddy, there aren't gonna be any more chances.
We've
Dreadnought
only
really
got a few
kind of
minutes
pushing
left.
back a little bit on their nonsense is a really good moment.
Yeah, it doesn't happen too much, but it was one where it's like,
Damn it.
you know, in his own way, he's the quiet kid that gets pushed a little too far in that moment and pushes
I
back.
hate this guy.
Getting a lot of love in your voice, though, Grim.
Your radio's
Yeah,
a
it's
lot.
like, I mean, yes, I'm here, I'm more or less a mercenary, but like,
That was a damn good
we
shit.
do have, we are looking for the same thing as far as asteroids concerned.
Yes.
Um,
We have
and
different
Grim's being a
reasons for
real
wanting
life
that, but yeah.
Yeah, and Grim is like really
That's-
just
that's
wanting to
standard,
give up.
Grim.
You don't
Not
like us.
not
Well, that's
wanting to give
because our
up, but he's
first three
getting
rocks were spent
discouraged.
listening
Yes.
to you moan about how creeped
And
out
so
you were.
Dreadnought coming in and being like, listen, this is my job. Like, I may be young, 24, dude, but like, I know what I'm doing, and I can't promise anything, but like, any inch that we can drill, we need to drill before we just toss this out.
Wait, what do you mean?
I just don't want to lose contact. This dude has to be older than me.
Fisher Price baby's first drill.
yours is military.
Yeah.
Great, just great. So I'm using an EXO that's more than 2 decades old.
Yep. If it makes you feel any better, mine's almost that old.
Thought they took everything when they left.
Well, companies bought everything the military would sell. Contractors bought off them. And there was all kinds of crap left in the scramble.
Hand-me-downs,
Whole
hand-me-downs.
ships even, if you can find them in deep space.
Thought one of those would be a pretty good haul for corporate, huh?
I love
Not really. I mean,
that hints to
you can take
like
these small
there's
rocks,
a
make a few new
concurrent
ships
story
out of that,
about
focus
ghost
more
ships.
about super old derelicts.
Yeah.
Nobody else.
It's not
There's
related
like,
to
yeah,
what they're
they're
doing
just
here,
us.
but it's in the same setting.
Yeah.
Got a shaky exosuit that
Just
agrees.
got abandoned because it would have
Speaking of
cost them
shaky,
more
is
money
the
to
rock
properly
still-
recover it,
Yeah. Finch?
Yep.
Hey, Con.
How's size
which
clever?
comes off a little more realistic in this age of like movie studios writing off entire movies for a tax
Do they
cut.
call you Con as
Yep.
in control or Conlin?
Yes.
That's confusing.
That too.
Uh-huh. I'll be done in a sec. Stand by.
Here comes the coffee. It's actually the moment when Blue joins Khan in the bridge, so I was able to switch from like the first talking through a headset to her being present, which it was real handy that I had Lori recording in the room.
Yeah, and able to
Yeah.
like use the exact same audio setup that you recorded with.
Sorry.
Whereas I think
Yeah,
at the
and I think
time
that-
I might have been on a headset. I don't think I had this nice thing when we were shooting. So
Yeah.
Is that
and
the
I
only
think-
time you characters are in the room together for the whole show?
No, Finch and
Guys, nothing. Blue.
Blue are together in the shuttle later.
Oh, yep.
yeah, no, different audio environment than on the bridge, but yes, they are together at the mic source on the shuttle.
Sorry. What's your depth?
263 meters.
Are you through that dense bit yet?
No, and my limit's 300.
That's it? Why are we even bothering?
Conlin wouldn't let me check out my good stuff.
You know that'd be a dead giveaway.
Conlin.
Baby's first drill here isn't giving the squirrel much to work with.
Baby's first drill here isn't giving the squirrel much to
There it
work
is.
with.
No, just my radio. 280 meters, still too dense.
Damn it.
Come on.
I want to like time out the speed of the drill with like time elapsed and distance.
Son of a...
What happened?
What?
As far as it goes,
Is it still dense?
ish. I don't know, man.
Come on, let's go.
All right. Is everyone sure you're calibrated right?
Just hit the button.
We should probably make
Just hit the
sure
button.
that's all I'm
Just
saying.
hit the button.
Okay, sure. Let's just ignore the captain's concerns.
Hit the button.
Hit
Just
the
hit
button,
the button.
Con.
Fine, I'll hit the button. Lock comms. 5,
So actually,
4,
that's a
3.
really fun bit because that one arose largely through not ad libs. It arose through the recording process of where actually that was one of the few parts where Teague was struggling to like land the right note. Where I think that it was shorter, where it's like just hit the button, and I was like, okay, I'll do it. Like it was much less kind of
Yeah.
argumentative. But then he just started rattling off because he was frustrated. He was like, just hit the button, just hit the button, just hit the button. And so like I just like that's great. So I just took that whole snippet and threw that in there, and then built this little bit where they're like arguing over each other and constantly. Are we sure? And they're like, just shut up and.
Take that console and tune this crap out. Got it.
Also, quite intentionally, I guess it's the rule of thirds, where it's like the expectation is something happens 3 times, and on the 3rd time it's the culmination. The squealer fires 4 times total, so
Yes.
once at the end of episode 1, and then
3 times in this.
episode.
Not counting the flashback at the start. Yeah.
Yeah,
Replay.
and I did that so that it wasn't like, oh, the 3rd time's the charm kind of thing. It's like, no, the 3rd time it's like the worst reading they get.
Yeah.
There's composites of
And it builds the
everything.
tension a little bit
Mother
more.
loads of mother loads. If we netted this thing ourselves, we could make the
Here they
ransom
are
money in a
celebrating.
day.
Yeah.
So happy.
Temple isn't gonna
I
wait
love
that
it.
long.
Yeah, agreed. Let's stick to the
Wish I
plan.
could have been a part of it.
Yeah, and I think that's what I was alluding to, I think, at first, where it's like there's a lot of stress in this, but then the ending is like,
This is the payoff
And then-
until. But
yeah.
yeah, like it's such a great break and like a happy moment that we're not gonna see. Spoiler alert. After
Here's
this.
the red.
Here's
Here's A-Rand.
and its affiliates will do its utmost.
Blue.
I'm sorry, I just want to strangle everyone in corporate with gigantic cakes made of ricin.
I move we leave Blue behind.
Kind of topical. I feel like I could probably do the same
I'm
thing.
venting.
Was that one grim?
No, Finch. I told you. You'll know one when you hear it.
What?
Never mind. The point is, we need corporate to pay up, not keel over.
So it wasn't a
The only
rant, it was a
people
mini
with enough money
rant.
to pay the ransom.
Yeah, that's true.
Really, any
That's
amount
true.
worth mentioning.
No.
Well, I'm not actually
Not
Grim.
anymore. You're right.
Yeah.
Grim has higher
Wait a minute.
standards than the rants.
I'm sorry I just...
Let's keep focused and not get greedy.
No, Con, you don't understand. This is the most valuable rock since 16 Psyche 100 years ago. Corporate will give us anything for a Class A Goldie rock like this one right here.
A isn't a rock class.
It's a figure of speech.
You're a figure of speech.
Your mom's a figure of speech.
What does that even mean?
Guys, let's get moving. Argus, is your exo still good?
I just want to make sure that it's clear that his mom really is a figure of speech.
Argus.
Patch is holding.
I don't want
That
to
was-
His mom's
Grab your
dead?
gear and get back to your base.
What?
We can help Dread out with
I
this.
honestly don't
You want me to, like,
know
Grim,
because
help?
that was an ad
You sure
lib
that's a good idea,
from
Con? I
T.
hate for
Like, we were recording and he's just like, I want to make
Grim's cool.
sure that it's
Yeah.
clear that his mom really is a figure of
Okay,
speech.
so
And I was
just
like,
everyone's
I don't know what that
okay,
actually
but
means.
yeah,
And Grim, of
okay.
course, like, what does that even mean?
Jetpack
But
rescue
I don't know.
squad
Maybe
is
he
on
was
its
just
way.
Yeah, if
maybe he
feel
was a
strongly
test tube
about it,
baby or
just
something.
trade Exos with me next time. I'll take
Well,
it.
that was
You
actually
do whatever you do.
There's never gonna be a
along
next
the
time, moron.
same
As soon
time
as we
frame
see the Corvus and
that
the crew home,
we had
I'm leaving for
a
Intersystem and Fat Living.
Right.
major
I keep forgetting
upset.
I'm rich now.
And so
This is
I
fun.
think it
It's gonna take a while
actually
to get my head
was
wrapped around it.
a cathartic, like,
You'll learn to live with
Let's
it.
move.
carry
people.
over
The sooner we
because
get back, the sooner Corvus
in our
flies
friends
home.
group we
I'll
had
be there in 5
people
mics,
that
Red
would
Knot.
do like your mom jokes and then they would feel
Red Knot.
really bad after
Mhm.
Control
because
Exo 2,
it was
Dreadnought,
literally
copy?
like, oh, I'm so sorry.
Damn.
What's
Yeah.
going on?
Yeah,
Oh,
I just
Dreadnought
saw
here.
that.
Everything's
They are-
fine.
yeah.
Can you see him?
I wish, right?
But he was 5 clicks away.
I forgot to measure how much time you guys are celebrating without realizing they didn't hear from me.
That's comms too.
Right. I'm on my way. God, she's gonna have a smug grin on his face.
Let him, man. In a few hours, when we're twisting corporate's arm, we're all gonna have that same grin.
I still love that conversation. Like they're all like at each other's throats, but then like, oh, I forgot I'm rich now.
But
Yeah.
fair enough, Vargas.
I'll learn to live with it.
Finch,
Hey,
how's the tether looking?
Anchor's had to burrow a bit, but it's stable. Not getting any more activity at the moment. Whatever the squealer did, it's calm now.
Okay, well, Argus is on his way.
Yeah, I'm still on the channel. Should be safe to climb the tether, Argus. Don't forget to watch the snaggy bit halfway up.
Thanks, Mom.
Foreshadowing.
Well,
And the servo on my suit.
we didn't exactly have a lot of downtime since our last shift.
We're in space. Everything wants to kill you in space. The last thing
Including
I
the
need
spiders.
is for stuff to start breaking.
I was about to say the spider.
Usually does.
Sue me.
Space Australia is just
Get
space.
$11 billion.
Greedy.
All right, that's enough chatter. Argus, what's your ETA?
2 minutes.
Finch, would you mind meeting him at the airlock and helping him out of that piece of junk?
Sure.
Then dump it into space. We don't need it anymore.
That's what I'm talking about. Can I hit the button?
Can I pack it with C4 first?
Ooh, you can pack it with my lucky C4 first, if I can hit the button.
It's a deal at that.
I'm glad we can be friends again. Con?
There's no problem that can't be solved with the proper application.
Here we go.
That's what I'm saying. Con!
Sorry, go ahead, Grim. You with Dreadnought yet?
Tell him he can blow up XO2 if he wants.
Boom!
Grim? Grim, how's Dreadnought?
He's gone.
Oh no.
What does that
Dun,
mean?
dun, dun. He's a figure of speech.
No! Dreadnought's a figure of speech? No.
Find out more about the series on the web at davidecarlson.net.
Yeah, so that's episode
on Facebook
2.
At facebook.com.
Things are going badly by the end of it. Not that
Yeah.
they're entirely aware. So there's a brief minute where things are going well.
Yeah. Which is great because if like the amount that was drawn out celebratory, number one makes the suddenly things are wrong hit harder, but also just like is a moment of lightness that I think is kind of required before you really go down the hole of how bad things can get.
An emotional roller coaster this episode.
Yeah. So.
And I will say it was actually it was particularly hard to get that when they they found when their sensors entirely lit up and they were all just exulting in the fact that this rock was everything they dreamed. It was surprisingly difficult to get a group reaction. Because everyone was recording individually, and so with each individual recording, it was just a person going like, "Yes,
woo! Yeah,
woohoo!" And so it was like I'm sitting there going like, "Is this gonna work? Oh my gosh!" Because this is a really important emotional moment, and there's no feedback. Like there's
also
no
like you can write a group celebrating, but even if they were all in the same room, the group is 3 or 4 people. It's hard to like get that energy out of it. With something I did recently, it was Dungeons and Darkside. The table celebrates, and then it's like, okay, but what does that actually look like? And we had to kind of figure it out in the moment.
Yeah. But I think put them together, and I actually think I pulled in a couple of unrelated bits from other parts in the recording.
You did a fair amount of that to really good effect.
Yeah, to like fill in a little bit there. It's like there's a couple of times in that moment where there's actually more people celebrating than there are actual people. I think there's a couple of times where one of Argus's and Dreadnought's lines, or not Dreadnought's, but Argus's and Grimm's lines both go over their own lines.
Oh wow!
Given that it's kind of masked by the radio static, I think it works, but it was really needed to kind of make it sound. In the moment, it doesn't matter how many people or how few people are celebrating, but if you're listening to it, it can fall flat real quick.
Yeah. No, I didn't even catch that.
Yay.
The dirty tricks you do when you're editing.
Yeah. So this was the episode where Blue actually comes in when we did the first episode last year. Not Blue, sorry, Finch. Amanda did participate and talk, but her character was not actually in it. So Finch, this being your first official episode, do you have any thoughts about your punny character?
I am listening. I'm just refilling water, so go ahead.
Yeah, gotta stay hydrated. So when it comes to Finch in general, just when collaborating with the team, I think she probably feels misplaced with all the other characters having already been a crew and then just kind of being an add-on wife, like kind of just there because her husband is there and not really having a social belonging outside of, I'm kind of this almost trophy wife where the competence and everything else feels threatened, where it's like, hey, like I have a reason that I'm here, not just because I'm married to Khan. And
Hmm.
in trying to find that, you hear some of the tension, but also that she doesn't take herself that seriously and can laugh at herself and kind of like joke around and still find her way. But that first episode that she's in, it is kind of like this, like, do I belong in that sort of extroverted feeling sense?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a tricky position to be because she is a more. I mean, Dreadnought is obviously not actually part of the crew. He's just there along for that job.
Yeah, Dreadnought was along for this
Blue,
mission, but
yes, Blue has been actually captaining her own ship for a while. She is back specifically for this mission.
right.
She was originally the second in command. Um, so there's actually been a period of time where Finch has been part of the mining crew, but not necessarily part of this friend group, so to speak. Um, so yeah,
Yeah, I hadn't thought of
that's a
that, but
source of
that's
tension.
solid. Yeah. Um, and yeah, I'd forgotten that Blue had her own ship, and it was like, okay, you gotta come back for this job, back to the old girl, the missus. So
Yeah, because the idea is that these ships, at least the high not the Hyacinth class, I'm trying to remember the Lilium class,
something like that.
was that they have a crew of like 50 people at least. So this is a real skeleton crew. um, that it's like he's running with people that he knows. Khan is running with people that he knows he can trust, except Dreadnought, who's here because he was the one who originally found the asteroid, and
Mm-hmm.
because he knew Finch, he actually reached out to her, and so that's kind of his in. So like um, this is happening because Finch kind of brought it together. Yeah, so there's. I mean, I'm not sure if it was this episode. I think it might be the next one where we can probably get that started. But yeah, they are like, Finch, are you sure about this guy? And she's like, yes.
Yeah, it's
No,
it.
she actually,
So
that's
Yeah,
unfair.
no,
She stands up.
she does vouch. Yeah, she's like, I know him. He wouldn't do that,
Yeah.
but like, she's the lone voice that is positive. I don't think
Yep.
Dreadnought's in this next episode at all. So I think it
Correct.
is. I think it is just Finch being the word of like, he's not a villain, guys. Super trust me.
Yep.
It's also hard to have her be the voice it comes from because they're a tight knit group, and of them, she has the least rapport. She
Yeah,
has the least validity from a trust standpoint than anyone else. So having to then give her a sort of, we trust you so that we can trust him, is not necessarily an easy logical pathway for them.
yeah.
so how old is Blue in the canon in this episode?
Exact age. They're all roughly in their
Estimated.
30s. But
Okay.
Blue and Khan, Blue is younger, but more competent. I think as there's a lot to that. Let's get the next episode started, and then I think there's a
Mhm.
discussion to be had about um, Khan's leadership, maybe a little bit
Yeah.
later, and how that relates to Blue and their ages.
Yeah, like I think Khan has the emotional intelligence part of leadership down, but yeah, when it comes to like running an efficient crew and the actual operations that are happening, yeah, that might be more Blue's thing. So I don't think you played out that there being any friction of them coming back together. It goes pretty smoothly, but All right, so we are looking at episode 3, Rookies on Payday.
So, fun fact, each of the episode titles are
You're
quotes
listening to
from
Hyacinth
Grimm.
Disaster.
Oh, they're
written
all
by
from
David
Grimm.
Carlson.
All
Part
from Grimm,
three.
yep.
Okay.
Which is not that it's something that you would know ahead of time necessarily, but it's a
Right.
subtle nod to the fact that he's the one who survives the longest.
Yeah.
Grimm? Grimm, how's
Interesting. I didn't catch that. I mean, I obviously caught that they were all quotes, but I didn't realize it was all Grimm.
He's gone.
Sorry, English being my second
Puts a
language.
grim
and all.
setting on
Maybe
everything.
I used the wrong word.
English isn't your second language.
Well then.
Wait, Grimm. Where could he possibly
English isn't
have
your
gone?
second language.
Probably wherever the squealer went.
What? He took the squealer?
Looks like.
Guys, the squealer is twice
They'll
his
think we
size.
faked the scans if we don't have the squealer.
I know, Dreadnought. I don't think he'd try anything like that.
Well, he couldn't leave without a ship, so make sure he didn't jet up there to steal the
He's
shuttle.
not the type to screw us over. Trust me.
All evidence to the contrary.
Everybody, shut up. Argus, get back in here so we can get your suit fixed. Grimm's gonna need your help.
I am?
Grimm, transmit your camera feed so we can see what the heck is going on.
I can tell you what I'm looking at just fine,
Did
thanks.
I stutter? Grimm, camera, now. Finch, hey, Dreadnought may not be dumb enough to screw us over, but just in case, you'd better make sure the shuttle can't be accessed from outside.
Emergency measures will let him get inside, but I can keep it from launching if I don't.
Just do it.
I can keep it from launching if I drain it of fuel, which
Yeah.
These things never work.
she's interrupted.
Yeah,
before she
it's
says
they're
that.
all in like emergency mode and just coming to the first thing that comes to mind and not necessarily the most prudent.
I got it now, Grimm.
But they also
Yeah.
don't know what's coming.
What's that?
Right, that's true.
On your
Yeah, so that's a
right.
great. That is a really good
That's
moment
where
for
Dreadnought was
Blue,
working
and
a
I think
squealer.
that's
And
when
you didn't
when
think
people
it
have
mattered
said
there's a
about like
whacking
Blue
great crevice
either
there
being their
now?
favorite or their
Practically
least
no
favorite
gravity.
character.
Why the hell should I
A lot of
expect him to
people
have fallen into a
who
crack?
This rock
that
has
have
been acting
given
weird.
feedback,
You want to run
they
that by
who
me
like
again?
her, they like the
The
rants.
rock's been acting
But
weird.
what they particularly point out is they like
try it
how
again,
when
but
it
think about how
really comes
stupid
down
it
to it,
sounds.
It has been.
she
It's
steps in and
a
she just like
rock,
makes sure
an
she makes sure stuff gets done.
Guys,
Yeah.
we need to focus. We're not beholden to station at this
Which
point.
is definitely
but
kind of
Dreadnought
where
might be hurt, and the illustrious commander of the freaking
some of the
Tesseract
subtext
doesn't
comes in.
seem like the patient type either.
Ideally, she probably should have been
Right.
the captain of the
I
Hyacinth
can probably contact
when they
him
were
directly
both
if you want
there.
to cut out the middleman.
I mean, obviously the
People
job's
love to
got
sink their
done,
grimy heads
and
into
Yep.
like you
space.
said, Khan has the
Is
Khan has
tempting,
the loyalty
but we're
of
way
crew.
too deep behind
Yeah.
the corporate
He's
zone.
just
I
not
don't want to make
the
this whole
best.
turf dispute worse.
It'd give
He's
us
not
an
the most
opportunity to capture one of their ships, though.
officious is the word,
Grim,
but
listen to yourself.
He's
We're
not
authoritative.
always-
He's not.
with a
He's not the
mining
most
vessel.
authoritative person.
Yeah.
Plus, we can't make any kind of deal with anyone.
And he
right
gets
now.
his
We
his
don't
moment
have
of
Squealer's
growth
data to
sort of
confirm the
later, but
scans.
I think
Or
that it was
Dreadnought.
kind of a.
Finch is
It
right.
was
We
intentional
don't
that
actually
throughout
know
you're
that he
kind of
turned
thinking
on
like,
us.
why was
He could be
Blue
in trouble.
second
We
in
didn't need the
command here?
squealer. I'd say leave him.
You can be a right
And
bastard.
the
sometimes.
they actually, according to in my head, they actually
you
like
suddenly
basically
warming up
flipped
the
a coin.
corporate's
I think they
methods
played a
too.
game of rock paper scissors
Come
Can we
to
just
see
do
who was
this
going to be
already?
captain
I'm
of
gonna
the
head down the
Hyacinth
crevice, find the
when they
squealer.
first got the
And
ship.
Yeah.
And,
Right.
I'm gonna jet
it
over
was
him.
Khan.
Negative, Argus.
Yeah.
You need to
I mean,
get
that probably
solid
effectively
road.
they
That
kind of
can't
co-ran it
translucent,
anyway,
there's no
but
telling the damage
Yeah,
it's gonna
there's
do.
probably a lot of blue in the
Besides,
background
Glenn's not
making
gonna
sure
wait,
stuff
nor should he wait.
was
We need to
happening.
get this wrapped up so Ember and the boys can come home.
But that's also that I
We
I
have
had that
anything to
because
say
I wanted
about
there
it,
to
yes.
be
It's
it to
cool.
kind of make
Money
sense
talks.
that Blue
It's
would at
corporate
this
news,
point
language
have
is
had
back.
her
On
own
my way,
ship.
Grim.
yeah.
What?
Not
Where
you,
she's
Argus.
like,
What is it?
yeah,
The
she gets
Dreadnought is
offered
under
this
the surface.
opportunity.
That's
Of course, she's
probably
going to
why we
take it
can't pick
because
up his signal.
as much as
Or
she
his
loves Khan,
contact
as much as she
signal.
obviously loves the
Sure,
people,
but from the
you know,
density involved
she
here,
definitely
we're gonna
deserves
need
to be
a radio
captain in her
relay
own
in the
right.
crevice so we don't lose Grim and Argus too.
Guys,
Damn.
we don't have time to stop. And Grim and I know how this goes.
Let me suit up real quick and bring a relay out there.
Finch, we don't have any
Past couple
more
episodes have done
I
a
can
great
just
job
use a
of
vacuum.
setting up
We're venturing off
things
the ship,
that
down the tether, and over
you know come in
kilometers of
later.
open
You know, there was the
asteroid
snag in the
surface.
tether.
It's
There's
insane, Finch, and you know
the
it.
cameras. There was already you know
We
more. There was a
couldn't
mention of
bring
the
them.
shuttle.
Corporate
So
tracks everything, remember?
No, I mean the
you did
the
a
old one.
really good job of
Corporate ordered us to scrap
setting
them.
up Chekhov's
Safety
guns to be
hazard,
fired later on.
Remember?
Right.
Full on Chekhov's armory.
So do you have any?
Unfortunately, no.
Con!
They were unusually insistent.
Probes!
What?
I'm suddenly not liking this conversation.
Argus! I'm saying we can use our mining probes. Attach a relay inside and we can guide it right to the crevice.
You mean those things packed with C4 we launch at incredible speeds to break asteroids open with? They're not probes, they're missiles.
Well, yeah, it'd come in hot, but I could slow it down. strip it of explosives.
Great, so it won't kill us. It'll just smash the relay on impact.
I can guide it. The relay will be fine.
You're sure?
Most likely.
So a good chance.
Okay, more like 50-50, but we gotta try.
Everything's a 50-50 chance. It either works or it doesn't.
Yeah.
Honestly, we should probably keep the tether right where it is. Argus is right about this rock acting funny.
You're all crazy.
Oh, hi, Grim. Thanks for the...
Oh, I think we missed
Okay,
we
I'm
missed
here
that.
with Brett.
We talked
We
over
need
the
to
bit,
find
but we're
Dreadnought and
like,
retrieve the squealer data.
where the
Relay
rock's
or
been
not,
acting
we are going.
strange.
Yeah, want to
Like,
run that by me again? Yeah, that was.
It's like, okay, we tried
Alright,
again, but
fine,
think about how
fine, get started.
stupid it's.
Grim, Argus,
Shoot.
start down.
It's also like it's interesting because when we do fiction like this, we think of asteroids as a solid rock. Meanwhile, since Hyacinth has happened, there's been probes out there to, getting small asteroids and comets and seeing that they're like barely held together under their own gravity.
Weird about it.
Except
Yeah.
somehow Dreadnought fell into it with practically
Yeah, it's
no
supposed to
fighting.
be. This is supposed to be one of the not one of the larger ones, such that it's been well cataloged before. Because that was really tricky. It's like
Yeah,
there are
Grimspeak is
tons
actually
of
almost-
asteroids.
It's a very
There really
simple
are, and
flexion-based language.
but
Takes
it's
a while
like
to learn it.
you can't have it be
Uh-huh.
too big because then that
Well,
would have been one that was
gravity or
well known
not,
ahead
I
of
need
time.
you guys
But
to
you
head
can't
to
have
the
it be too
crevice, so
small
jump
because
in.
then it's just
Drama.
not very effectual as a gold mine.
Yeah.
Hello?
Shockingly, we're barely moving. We're literally pulling ourselves down the walls.
But it's
Yeah, here they start going down the
it's-
crevice.
Yep.
Sensors giving an average
But it's like it's such a weird rock that was probably shielding itself from scans and abnormally large for what hadn't been caught before. So boom, done.
Seems like it.
Yep.
Well, keep an eye on the walls.
Seems stable enough. I'm gonna drop a flare.
You mean throw it?
Whatever. Bounce, bounce, bounce. Looks cool.
Looks cool.
Con?
Nothing
Yeah,
actionable.
you need an
Looks
extra pair of
cool.
hands down here.
Help
Yep.
with the high explosive removal? Yeah, I'm no good.
When it comes to explosives, there are only experts and dead. You're not dead, so
See, that's a bit over-reductive.
Grim and Argus are fine.
A bit
I
over-reductive.
need to be up here to monitor for Dreadnought and watch
So that
sensors.
the
Suit
sound
yourself.
effects in the
Blue's
background
attitude is a bit
are
charged
actually
at the moment. It's fun to see her go.
hydraulic
let's
press
keep a
from my
level head
job
down
at the
there.
time.
She's a real
And
firecracker.
it was just me, at the end of the day, just working a press
Do you
up and
think your
down and
plan will
getting.
work?
It was a really
Sure.
cool startup
It's
effect.
an
We press the button and the thing goes like,
explosive
brrrr,
notion.
like
No chance
Yeah.
it'll
that's what you hear at the start of this
Nuclear
conversation.
steam.
People's lives are still on the line.
And then later on, I think
Con, it's
it's
gonna be okay.
when
I'm sure
Blue
Dreadnought
is kind of working
fine.
on the missile
Argus
itself.
and Grim will retrieve him
There's
and the squealer,
just
and
me
we'll be
banging
out of
on an
here in
old
no time.
toaster, basically.
We did
Yeah.
it. This rock is a huge find.
We missed a bunch of puns.
We've got the leverage to hop
Yeah.
over.
Grim to con.
Oh,
as
that was
as well
nice.
as like familial acceptance of Finch.
Grim to con.
Con here.
Yeah,
We're almost at
yeah,
the
they're
bottom.
starting
sign
to
of
work
Dreadnought?
together.
Not yet.
Wow.
What?
Yeah, he definitely opened up a cave system.
The squealer.
Where?
Over here.
What's its condition?
That's weird.
What is?
Yeah.
Would anyone care to elaborate?
It's smashed. At this gravity, it should hit the floor like a feather.
How smashed?
Like rookies on payday. Should
Ah, he said it.
He said the thing.
Yeah, I see it. Let me get these wires out of the...
How long do you think this will take?
I can't reach the card slot. I got about 8 feet of twisted metal to pull out.
Love the idea there's just an SD card
Argus,
slot.
Grab my tape and throw it through, will you? I can't
No,
reach
compact flash. That's going to be a little more sturdy.
I'm not sorting through your pouches. Take mine.
Thanks.
And there's another.
There's another, yeah.
Problem.
Confirmed.
Yep.
Argus,
I'm not gonna
any
go
sign of
into your
Dreadnought?
pouches for your tape. Here's mine.
Hold on. I mean, there's other caves you could have disappeared into.
Yeah,
was
just a
actually a
lot of
later
things
stage
where like they are working together efficiently, but they are skipping a lot of common sense things that they could be doing.
We find
Yep.
a squealer.
And it's obviously it's not a situation they're really used to.
Uh-huh.
But they're also not used to like this kind of stress where it's like they're
Yeah.
not really they've never been on a time frame.
Yeah, like there's probably
And also-
procedures that go ahead.
They probably haven't had their press like threatened to death. So
Yeah, like there's
Pretty
probably
stressful.
procedures that could apply, but they don't know that book forward and backward, and they're definitely not trying to think of like, okay, no, everyone needs to have access to their own tape. Make sure you hand it back when you're done. Da da da.
Well, he's a money-grubbing bastard bastard who took advantage of us wanting to save our friends.
You take that
Even
back.
if there's a damn fantastic reason why he's missing, and this thing is smashed, it wouldn't bother me if he disappeared for good.
He's just a kid, Grim. We're the only people who can help him.
And you're the only person who's stupid enough to care.
Go to hell.
Where are you going?
Con,
Control.
are you gonna get that damn relay out here or what? I'm going in.
Negative. Argus, wait until we get it ready. Your signal's bad enough. Argus!
He's gone.
Well, follow him!
How about no? I'm clearing this equipment out and hoping that bleeding heart is right about Dread. Otherwise, we're not gonna find that memory card.
Grim, come on!
Bye.
Oh, my conch.
They are both of the guys in Exos are real pissed out there.
Yep.
Finch, come in.
So this conversation was
I
really
know.
important to me
How long?
with Finch and Con on all of us listened to it. But basically, it's
the
Finch showing like
Okay, make it
how
quick.
centering she is for Con.
Yeah.
What's wrong?
And I think it's a really cool character moment.
Isn't wrong. We have friends who've been kidnapped, Dreadnought's disappeared, and Grim and Argus just had a scream fight about it.
Wow.
Yeah! Argus just stormed off to find Dreadnought, so I can't contact him either. I'm trying to do right by Ember, and I can't even keep my own crew together, but screw me for trying to help, right?
This isn't your fault.
Still happened.
What happened is that you were willing to come out here for a long shot. It turned out to be a bullseye, thank goodness. But either way, you're doing the right thing. Don't pretend you weren't going to try rescuing the Corvus directly before Dreadnought contacted me.
I was just brainstorming.
Yeah, you would have tried though, because you're an idiot.
That would have been a very
but you're
different
an amazing,
story.
Yeah, right?
caring idiot. That's why we all came with you.
Having a heart isn't going to make this work.
No, that's exactly what's gonna make this work. The station doesn't give a damn about anyone, so Ember would rot if it wasn't for you. But yeah, having a 400,000-ton mining ship with a willing team of experts helps a little.
Well, the willing part is fast dwindling.
Finch, I need a hand.
And experts is sometimes in question.
Grim and Argus
Yeah.
are just stressed.
No, they are experts. It's just it's probably been a while since they've had stressful
Because I'm an idiot.
But an amazing
pressures on them.
They are professionals,
Yeah,
but
you
not at
do.
this.
I'll have to take you somewhere after this before we head home. Maybe a Melze? And Blue said it was lovely.
I'm coming.
What was that?
Don't worry about it.
Uh-huh.
Get it?
Uh-huh.
Haha! Fine. Take your bow and get over here. I saw that.
Saw what?
Toss this C4 somewhere out of the way.
Sure.
The thunk.
Almost done here. Grab those boots and put them back in.
These?
Yep.
I forget if we specified. Do you envision artificial gravity on the Hyacinth, or is it zero G?
This thing working, so I pulled it apart. And the card is gone.
Memory card?
No, the birthday card.
Well, happy birthday, Grim.
David?
How was that?
Finch and Blue letting you know you're being an ass.
Fair enough.
Uh-oh.
Dreadnought took the card.
Con to Missile Bay.
Go ahead, hon.
It seems something is a little fishy after all. Grim pulled the squealer apart.
He's
and
gone.
the card is gone.
So Dreadnought took it?
Apparently,
I'm sure there's a reason. Dreadnought's a good kid.
whatever that reason is, we need.
Well, I mean,
to
it's
find
yeah,
it.
the squealer's busted. We're not gonna get it back out. Come on, guys, give me the benefit of the doubt.
If we can establish
Hang on, Blue. I'm patching Grim in. Go ahead.
If we can establish a link to Dreadnought's comms again, I should be able to use it to extract the data from the card if he's anywhere near it.
Well, great. Then let's do that before he wins everything.
we don't know he's trying to screw us.
Why, hell, we don't. Why else would he take
Grim
the
is
card?
such a
And now
stick in the
Argus is
mud.
suspecting
Yeah,
we're looking for
super
him.
negative of
What happened to
immediately
find
assuming
that?
the worst in people.
Grim and I will
Oh,
sort this. You
we
keep
lost
on
David.
the relay.
Oh yeah, no,
Grim,
he's
can
been
you
gone.
contact Argus?
Negative. I lost comms connection shortly after he went into the...
Let me check the relay. Meanwhile, you get ready to set it up. You're gonna have to pull it out of the probe's casing.
Back. Sorry about that.
Welcome back.
Blue, Finch.
Happy birthday, Grim.
This one goes there. That
Happy
one
birthday,
goes
Grim.
there.
Yeah, I got it. What's up, Con?
We're kinda in a hurry here.
We're almost done. I'll be up in a second.
You're flying it?
I didn't get pulled out.
Actually, I really like that bit for Grim where
Potato patrol.
he's being an ass, right?
I'll get the links.
And they're just
Got it.
They're like, "Happy birthday, Grim," and he's like, "What was that?" He said, "Well, them letting you know you're being an
Confirmed.
ass." And
We'll
he's
be
like,
launching as soon as
"Fair
Blue
enough."
gets up here.
Yeah,
Better hurry
from
up.
people that he
Argus
respects
will be
more.
in
Not that he
Take
doesn't
care of
respect
himself.
Argus, but he gets in fights a lot with Argus and not necessarily the others.
Dreadnought's flaking, and his exo is falling apart.
Good point.
Yeah, I've been making those if anyone would listen.
Hey, Khan.
Control.
Probe is
I
loaded.
feel like we're
You there
weirdly
yet?
seeing the two sides of David
Well,
here,
get set.
with Khan and Grim. Two isolated parts of
But
David.
Really, there's lots of pressure, and you gotta do it anyway.
It's like that one old
Probe
Star
loaded,
Trek
Blue.
episode where
Okay.
Captain Kirk gets
Confirm
split
tube
into his
16.
18.
super
16
passive
came
and
back.
super aggressive
worse
than
sounds by the
usual, I
transport.
Yeah, that one freaked me out as a
Brother
kid.
about
Not gonna
this
lie.
I've been
Scary.
trying for months.
Right, because maintenance is so easy with corporate breathing down my neck.
Blue to Grim, you ready?
I've been read.
We'll get readier.
I vaguely remember enjoying this,
Dropping in for a visit.
recording that part because it's just, you know, pretending to be frustrated and just mess with stuff and
Yeah.
pretending thumps are happening and
Yeah,
you
like,
know, it's
wha-
just really fun.
While you're recording, I imagine that like you wanted to have switches and stuff to throw, and then you're like, no, he's gonna add those later.
Things go wrong.
Oh, look, this lovely cave. I think I'll make its acquaintance.
Okay, Finch. Confirm locked.
Locked.
Confirm clear.
Clear.
Here we go. Tube expunged. Probe away. Turning to 248.114.
Okay, so I basically
You're off a little.
I kind
Shut
of
up.
made up
I
these
know.
numbers,
Sorry.
Turning back. There.
headings and such. I think
Okay.
the time though, the
What?
actual time
Once a
from
fire
I
main
can't remember if she
press,
says
there's
it
no
yet,
stopping.
or basically when she says it's going to impact on so and so. I
I'll
did
take it
that
medium rare.
retractively. I
Firing.
assembled this
Fire
part of
confirmed.
the episode,
5
and then
clicks
I
out.
went back
Reverse in
and
20
had her
seconds.
record. This is how long it's going to be,
Put
so
me
Nice.
it
scroll
actually be
backwards at the last
exact.
second.
Everybody
So
shut
20
up.
seconds was at
Impact in 15
16:42.
Turning to 322.142.
Yeah?
Climbing sharp.
And now 322.89.
Uh-oh.
It works well, and like the ramping up of that sound in the background does such a great job.
3, 2, now.
Confirmed. Impact in now.
Yes. So actually, that was what's called a shepherd's tone,
Blue, what are you
which
doing?
is a
Sorry.
in sound
just
design,
really
it's
anticlimactic
a
when we blow
tone
things up without sound.
that it's
I like to
late.
make
It's
my own.
it's multiple tones that are going up
Why?
in pitch, but
Is that
they're
weird?
layered, so they
Ram,
it kind of
report.
keeps restarting. but
Yeah,
it
like
creates
this one
audio
gets up
illusion.
here, and the next one starts coming up here to give the impression of something continually.
Alright, way to go, Blue.
Exactly. So
Okay,
it,
Grim,
it's
get
like
that
it's
damn
an audio
transponder
illusion.
out. Let's find Argus and
It never
Dreadnought.
actually
almost
gets
there.
that
Blue,
high,
good
but it
good.
makes it sound like it's
You kidding?
constantly
I was amazing.
pitching up,
I
which
just
is a
rolled
really
amazing
good.
300 meters inside an
Yeah, they use that a lot of horror
Backwards
movies.
just a
It
few
just
Yep.
builds
feet wider than
tension,
the
and it's
missile
got that
itself.
illusion
Yeah,
that it just
that's
never
pretty good.
You have
Yeah.
no
releases
appreciation
that
for art, you
tension.
I think Zimmer used it a lot for the Dark Knight series.
Oh, I told you. It'll be the stuff legends are made of.
What
I
are
li-
you
I like
two
the
talking
gloating.
about?
Nothing. Opening the
Oh.
panel on the missile.
How's the
The
transponder?
gloating over like, I'm so good!
Get through the
Why does
Yeah.
nobody appreciate this?
packed it, and I'll tell it.
Just trying to keep it safe.
$100 says it's broken.
No way. I packed it. Besides, when did you become the pessimist?
Yeah, I pulled it.
Since you owed me $100. If you win, debt's off. But I could come out with 200.
And a lot more stress when we lose Argus and Dreadnought. But sure, that's on.
Excellent.
I haven't set up if you two aren't done.
Ignore them. Go.
Hey, it's on.
Finch?
Blue?
Ha! It worked, Grim. Yes. You have yourself a transponder, tuning it to our ops frequency.
Cool. Are my silky smooth tones coming through?
Loud and clear, Grim. It's about time something went right again.
Damn!
What?
Something's happening with the debris. There's more flying from the. Damn
Ooh.
it!
Grim, what the hell is going
I
on?
just lost the relay.
Grim!
Yeah, I'm trying to get out of this damn. These rocks are coming
Grim,
from
turn
everywhere.
your
I can't
camera
see a
back on. We
thing.
need to be able to see what's going on.
Oh god. My helmet. Damn it, my helmet!
Such good cliffhangers at the end.
This was part 3 of the
That was
Hyacinth
it.
Disaster.
I mean,
I absolutely
especially not.
hate it.
It
It's so good. I hate it.
Yeah, that's go ahead.
I was just saying how I listened to the second episode to brush up, and going into this, I really like this episode. I don't
Yeah.
know if it's like the performances. I feel like it almost sounds like as the voice actor, started getting more comfy too. So I feel like it was a good episode.
Well, that's actually worth noting as a production point, because some productions don't do it kind of in
Chronologically.
order,
Yeah.
chronologically. And we did. I mean, that's probably more difficult to do when you're filming something, right? Because you have to get whatever scenes you can at a certain location while you can. But yeah, we we recorded chronologically.
Yeah, and it works well because like you want strong performances at the start, but also you want strong performances at the emotional cores. So I think our performances were strong enough at the start, but it is like really cool that, you know, the previous episode was mine where I was like really getting into Dreadnought and being comfortable pushing back. You know, I'm 24 dude is in the first one, but yeah, and then right at the end there, I think is the first time that definitively The Rock, that we are shown, not told, that The Rock is doing something weird. Like, all of a sudden, everything's been steady for 20 minutes, this whole episode, and then all of a sudden the walls start to collapse.
Yeah, well, not even collapse, to like actively fly at him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think we went right past it. You mentioned gloating, but the bit where Blue makes her own noises for when the mist
Right,
hits.
that was in this episode. It's like, it doesn't
Yeah.
work if it's
It's
silent.
like, sorry,
We
it's
did
just
miss
really
that, yeah.
anticlimactic.
Yeah.
She's like, why is that weird?
Silence.
I totally missed that. In the episode? Possible?
Yeah, that was just before everything starts going bad again.
We were all talking through it.
Yeah. But yeah, the 20-second countdown to impact and everything there. Yeah, I think we were talking about the Shepherd tone through that.
Oh. No. And then so I don't think we mentioned it in the last time we did this, but I don't know what was wrong with my attempts, David, but apparently I had a hard time making
Oh my gosh.
like explosion noises. I'm like, I mean, I did, like, I don't, but apparently it wasn't good enough, and David had to like layer, I guess, his, you know, I don't remember what you actually ended up doing for that, but
You were not making enough saliva.
I wanted it wetter. I wanted a wetter explosion.
Yeah. That was
okay.
You were being too polite, and you were like
Probably.
and I was like, okay, this needs to like
Messier.
Yeah, it's the actual explosion noises is, I think, me pitched up a little bit.
Yeah.
So I remember you two recording this until like 1 a.m. because you guys were just trying to get it right. And I remember I got my camera, I took a picture where Lori's just going.
Well, apparently it
in
was
the
good.
archive somewhere.
Yeah, I don't know that we have. I've seen a picture or two, but I wouldn't even know where to look for him to display him on screen.
Yeah, I think the picture you've probably seen is where Lori is slumped over the table after having recorded the last line of the series.
Yeah.
Which
that was...
she nailed. So, you know, definitely.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Well, I mean, it was, we'll talk about that when it comes up, but I am overall very proud of my pushing myself. And I do think that there was a lot of, I was uncomfortable, but once again, very happy that I did. And the amount of patience you had for it, because, a real studio would be like, okay, maybe we'll move on to the next person, but, nepotism.
Well, it's also growth for you as a director that you can say right now that it's like, oh yeah, I wanted like a wetter, messier explosion, and at the time you didn't know how to put into words what you wanted.
Yeah, that was definitely, and that definitely made it harder for Lori, because it's I was a better what's the word? I was a better counter actor than a director. So I could
blame
do it where
David
it's like
for everything.
where like when I was recording opposite Teague or I was recording opposite Boder, like I was playing whatever character they weren't playing when I was
Yeah.
doing those scenes, and it's easier to it was easier for me to do that than it is for me to be like when a character is doing a specific thing for me to describe. Here's exactly what you need to be doing.
Yeah, direction can be a really tricky thing because you have something in mind and you want to be able to give your actors leeway to make it their own, but at the end of the day, it is still your vision that you want to get correctly. So, yeah, it can be really tricky to develop the skills to get that. I feel like I do a pretty decent job of it at this point, but I don't know, David, last time I worked with you on something was 2018, so.
Yeah, well, you were pretty receptive to any suggestions I had. That was after Hyacinth,
Yeah.
so I had some experience with that as well. Yeah, the one thing I wanted to kind of ask you guys about was like we did talk a little bit about as far as Grimm's like competency. Um, how do you guys feel what's your guys' take on his leadership ability throughout these initial
Grimm or
episodes? Sorry, Khan.
I think so. So I touched on a bunch in that episode, and that this is a crew that works under pressure, but doesn't make the best decisions under pressure. And there's a bunch of points where if Khan was able to pay attention, it'd be like, make sure you give the vac tape back when you're done with it. Make sure you do this. Make sure you do that. We're gonna do this right. If we're going to recover Dreadnought and have any chance of saving Ember, we need to do it correctly. And I don't think that Khan really had the experience of crisis management to make sure that everybody was doing a good job. I think he's a good fair weather captain when everything's going fine, but when stuff was going wrong, he wasn't able to, do the things that would help keep the crew safe.
I disagree.
Okay.
100%, because what he had was everything that he needed to get the job done, except for the confidence. And the fact that his name is Conlon is hilarious to me because he literally has the fidence, but not the con. Like, the thing that he is loyal and capable, and he has everything in there, but he's so conflict averse that he won't speak up on those things that he knows he needs to tell them. And it actually shoots everyone in the foot for him not speaking up when he knows the right thing to do and having confidence in himself and believing in himself.
Yeah, very true. So
I think that's the part with Finch and Khan, and I think like I'm blending episodes probably, but I was thinking it can be if I was in that situation, Khan being slow to make a move when he needs to. He had a moment with Finch where he definitely sounds kind of hesitant with other people, but he got like self-deprecating with, like, he said, what did he say? I'm an idiot or something.
Yeah.
And Finch's reaction was interesting because it was like, but you're
You're an amazing, kind, caring idiot.
Yeah. Where it was like, well, you might be a little bit. No, I'm just kidding. But I thought that was a fun little touch where clearly, if you're with a partner, you're going to be a little bit more raw. With other people, you're going to try a little bit harder, even though it may come across as, you're still indecisive or whatever. But yeah, one thing that I listening to it and reading it, the part where things get crazy, I think it was in episode 2, but where, Blue is next to him at that point, and he says, Blue, and then she says, Blue here, but like, she's nervous. She did seem kind of a little bit uncharacteristically overstimulated, like especially with how she reacted in the following episode more decisive. Maybe it's because she just finally took the reins for a second, and then that kind of gave her, allowed her to, kind of bobble around a little bit. But I thought it was funny because, realistically, if that was me in that time where she was like, ah, like overstimulated because
where
they're
he's like, "You're
happening.
right next to me," and she's like,
Sorry,
Like,
damn it.
tension, mostly tension.
That's mostly tension. But then, with this, she's, kind of leading things again.
Yeah,
So
that
I don't know if that's
moment.
necessarily an inconsistency or I'm not really sure, but um, some thoughts.
Well, it kind of does, there is the moment where Blue takes over for the crisis management because Khan isn't. It's everybody shut up. Argus, get back in here so we can get the suit fixed. Grim's going to need your help. We're doing this. Transmit your camera feed. I didn't ask. And Blue, who now has her own ship, and she has experience of being at the top of the heap for management kind of thing. She steps in to do the kind of things that Khan probably should have, but because of his confidence issues, wasn't able to. His hesitation and self doubt.
And that actually hurts the whole team because Khan knows the strengths of every person on his team even more than Blue does.
Yeah.
So that actually where she ended up like interrupting and kind of stopping something that may have been, more effective or just in that state, if Khan had actually done the confidence conning that he could have at that time, it would have actually saved all of them from having lost Dreadnought in the beginning, where it would have been those little things that him stepping in, like, hey, give the tape back, like that confidence of leading, where he has everything within him to be a leader. But that's a speaking piece to all of us. Like, we all have everything within us to be a leader, and to not show up where we are really saying, this is the standard, this is what we are going to uphold. We're only going to be able to have the standards to what we're tolerating. And he was tolerating a lot of little things because of the conflict he wasn't able to hold tension for.
Yeah.
And I think that's why characters, I was going to say, like with Grim, who, I mean, really was insubordinate, right? Like many times. And, I think that Khan, had he been a good leader and understood he understood the stakes of the situation, but had he enacted those qualities, that would have, he needed to put Grim in his place, but he didn't. He was too he was too stressed or not assertive enough, or there was like a power struggle thing going on.
And like again, he's like the people person, the emotionally intelligent. Oh, that's how he copes with stress. We'll let him do that. When as a commander, should have been like, all right, we're in a crisis moment now. You need to stop that, and we need to work on this. You need to stop talking back, because that's also not helping Khan. When Grim talks back and is second guessing everyone around him, Khan is particularly vulnerable to that.
Yeah, I was really, and particularly with my character for obvious reasons, I didn't want it to be like, oh, this is just the super awesome, he does everything right kind of thing. But frankly, I would say more so back when I wrote it. But some of my own kind of issues with whatever leadership I had and whatever position I had in life, where it's like that kind of sense of lacking confidence, even if I knew something, like asserting that thing was hard for me to do. And still to an extent a struggle that I have, and I just kind of dialed it up to 11 for the character. And Yeah, it's a disaster in more than one sense of the word. Obviously, it's literally a disaster, but it's a tragedy because not that it's their fault,
Yeah.
but some of the criticism, some of the reviews and the criticism that has come in, it's like if they just stopped talking, just they were doing if they just did their job, everything probably would have been fine.
But yeah,
The
that's a
short
classical
answer to
tragedy.
that, yeah, to the short answer is probably not, because the asteroid was in fact doing weird stuff.
Yes.
But them letting the tension kind of get to them, and understandably so, them being human did result in it going as badly as it did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Argus and would never ever have left his duct tape behind. I mean, the guy has Lucky C4 in his pocket. Like
Yeah.
he's never
He's prepared.
he is as like I mean, to turn it to a colloquialism, like he is as duct tape minor as you can get. Like this dude, the duct tape he probably named that. Like he named his suit. He probably named his duct tape. Like he would not have left it behind if Grimm wasn't pissing him off.
Yeah.
If he didn't feel, like he in that immediate moment he needed to go find Dreadnought because Grimm was basically just denouncing his humanity. Like that wouldn't have happened. And if he didn't, like, he would have survived longer. I don't know, how different it would have been in the end, but like these were, maybe that's what it boils down to, is none of these characters were the best for the job.
They were simply the ones available. Yeah.
They were the ones who were stepping up to do it.
Yeah. Because ultimately they were never meant to have to do this. This should have been their company, the corporation, the whatever that's above them. They should have been.
Guys.
Yeah, here we go. No. But it is really funny that, people, it's easy to criticize these very flawed characters that, can be divisive or insecure or whatever. But, these are people who are, they're just doing their job,
Mm-hmm.
and this is just such a crazy situation to even have to be in, and they shouldn't have had to be the ones to do this in the first place. So,
yeah.
It's just, nobody trained them nobody. This is just a weird situation altogether. So,
Amanda, you had thoughts?
Go ahead.
I think when it comes to a crew that, one, hasn't worked with each other all before, because there's a lot of new people on the team, there's different elements and dynamics than if you already know everyone on your team. And so the tension alone, where you're basically trying to assemble the Avengers without any superpowers, where you're really just trying to put all these people together to get something accomplished for, I would say, a noble purpose, but without really the resources or backing that you have a Tony Stark or something doing. So in the end of it, it's almost like we are sacrificing ourselves, except for some of them aren't in it for that. They're kind of looking at it as, hey, we're not all on the same mission, so that's already causing tension. And to then have where there's emotional tension internally from each character, where you have Blue is really competent, knows what she's doing, is trying to defer to this mission as her brother being the lead. You have Finch, who doesn't really belong in the group, but also has a reason to be there, and Dreadnought being there as kind of accessory to the mission, but not really anchored in anywhere except through Finch. So the loosest parts are the most important. And then to have Grimm and Argus kind of fraying because of their own fear, really, that it kind of makes a perfect storm of personal relational conflict and everyone's working in their not favorite flow state where it's like everyone's working in their stress state, not in their right roles. Where
not in their day job mentality.
Lou should have been the captain. Khan really should have probably been the one out there, like in the.
I think Khan would have been a great first officer. Like he would, because he is in touch with his crew, and as much as I think that in that role he probably would have been able to assert himself a little bit more, because he wouldn't have to worry so much about the minutia. He could have been more like the kind of the touchstone for the different crew members.
Yeah.
But I think that's what's good about this. I mean, it's bad for them, but it's good. It's interesting storytelling, right? Because deeply flawed people who aren't meant to be here, and like you said, where you don't want this this guy to be like, I know exactly what to do, and kind of switching gears easy. And no, there's just these are just people who were working and all of a sudden thrown into something. They're ragtag crew.
Yeah. Like they're all doing stuff that's adjacent to what they know how to do, or even doing exactly what they know how to do, like under ordinary circumstances. But these are extraordinary conditions that, they're not the right people for the job, but they are the only people on the job. And it's kind of the moment where we invoke Shakespeare when we're talking literary criticism, where it's like, oh, it's a tragedy. Well, yeah, it is a tragedy. People make bad decisions. People make the decisions they can with the information they have and the character flaws. You can solve Shakespeare tragedies, well, if they only did this, but then that's not the story being told.
Yeah, then that wouldn't be, in many cases, there wouldn't be a story.
Yeah. So, people that are like, oh, well, they make so many bad decisions, and it's like, that's kind of the genre, narratively. Because your options are either that, or, you have these, supermen that know exactly what they're doing, and you just have to come out with increasingly more esoteric ways to make it go wrong anyhow. That's just not as satisfying as seeing all the ways that are set up, whether it's the tape, whether it's the snag in the tether, whether it's draining fuel from the shuttle, whatever it is. So.
It's kind of like if you look at a car model where you have the driver, the navigator, the 3-year-old kicking the driver's seat in the back, and then the 10-year-old is like kitty corner, where that's like their skill strengths. And so Khan kind of being in the driver's seat is almost like the 10-year-old is in the driver's seat of the ship's operations, when he would have been a better co-pilot. He would have been a better one there. Whereas realistically, the way that everything's been working, everyone in their roles were the 10-year-old in their driver's seat in their positions. And so they could do it, but they weren't really equipped with the, I would say, maturity in those roles to really function at the best of the whole team. And so if everyone did the Chinese fire drill, like a switch in the car, it would have been better.
Yeah, Blue was like, get out, get out, get that.
Yeah. Get in the driver's seat, let's go. Yeah. And especially, just because someone's good to, drive the family sedan, on a road trip across the interstate, doesn't mean that they're going to be the right person for the job when you got to all of a sudden do stunt driving with, whatever special effects, earthquake, dropping redwoods on you or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it does boil down to that idea where it's like, these were not the right people for this job, but they were the people who stepped up. Yep. And it cost them everything. It literally cost them everything, but
they did it.
Even in retrospect, if they had been able to make the choice intentionally, they would have still made that choice.
I don't know if Dreadnought would have.
Well, that's fair.
But yeah, but we do get into that later on. Because I haven't listened too much. Later episodes do talk, wrestle with that of, would I have made the same decisions knowing everything I know now? And the people that are left at that point say, yeah, this was worth it.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it is. That was a great discussion. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
We got through 2 episodes.
Can't wait to do 2 more next year.
Yeah. for anyone who is either listening to this now and I would like to try and do something. I'll say in like maybe a couple of months. I really would. I will update on Reddit and share it around if I can. But yeah, this has been episodes 2 and 3 of the Hyacinth Disaster. This is the point where I've gotten a lot of feedback from when I did share the show with someone, and it gets to episode 3, and they're like, "Oh, this is really good. Like, not just good, but like this is like it's really fun."
Yeah.
And then
It's
as much as there is obviously there's some trouble going on, it hasn't really gotten to the disaster point yet. So
no.
with episode 4, we will see that start to unravel.
We're seeing
can always
shaky
tell they
dominoes, but they're not getting quite yet.
Nice.
All right, guys. Thank you all so much. Thank you to everyone in chat here today as we talked about episodes 2 and 3. Thank you to Taco Pill hanging out in chat. And thank you to everyone watching this on YouTube. Again, leave comments if you have comments on these particular episodes. And hey, huge shout out to just everyone that has listened to and enjoyed the Hyacinth Disaster over these last 8.5 years.
Yeah.
It's been a really fun ride, and you guys are just as much of a part of it as we were when we set that ship in motion. So thank you everyone for watching. Thank you everyone for participating, and we'll see you next time. Bye everybody.
Bye.
Bye.